I get what he's saying, but at the same time, like that'd be like saying like people are addicted to hobbies and they need to stop doing that. They can't do it in moderation because it's taking control of your life. Like if it truly makes you happy and it truly doesn't mess up anything else in your life, it doesn't affect anybody else that's in your life, then I don't see why it should matter.
Subscribe to this channel in case you are watching this channel and you have not subscribed.
Why is pornography bad?
Oof, why is pornography bad? Pornography is bad for one simple reason, and that is that you are getting false dopamine hits from doing something that makes you feel guilty and gives you shame. If you look at this, all of you can Google vibration chart. Like all of us have a vibration. Everything in life has a vibration. In fact, there's a true story. There was a bridge in Baltimore that was built like in the 60s. Dude, it's crazy. And the way they built the bridge, et cetera, it had the same vibrational frequency as wind at 22 miles an hour, right? So when wind kicked up to 22 miles an hour, that 22 mile an hour wind and the vibrational status of that bridge were in line, and this bridge would start vibrating and shaking and swaying, and cars were getting like tossed around. Oh, yeah. They had to demolish that whole bridge and rebuild it. Vibration's real. Like you've been around people, you walk in, you meet them, and immediately you feel this weird, like low energy, like you're just sucking out the energy of the room, right? Yep. That's a low frequency person, right? And you've been around high frequency people. And so if you look up the frequency chart or vibrational chart of humans, you'll see that guilt and shame are at the very bottom, and they rank at like vibration level like 5 and 6, right? In the middle is acceptance. Acceptance, that I'm gonna accept that I'm a flawed human, but I'm gonna take action in becoming a better human. That's vibrational level 400. At the very top of that pyramid of frequency or vibration is self-actualization, happiness, fulfillment, gratitude. That is a vibration level of 12 to 1400 in terms of frequency, right? And so when you are watching porn, you're getting dopamine hits, and those dopamine hits, you're conditioning yourself, okay, when I do something shameful and that I feel guilty about, I get dopamine hits. Oh my God, I do not want to get this awesome, great dopamine hit that's supposed to be good for me. Like working out, that's a dopamine hit. Making love to your spouse, that's a good dopamine hit, right? Doing a hard day's work and feeling accomplished, that's a good dopamine hit. Watching porn secretly because you don't want to be found because you'll feel guilt and shame and getting a dopamine hit, you're conditioning yourself to get dopamine out of negativity.
That's about the only thing that I've understood what he's saying so far. Because I watch porn. I'm really watching this because I really want to see why the whole red pill movement is against porn. I get why it's against tricking and why it's against with paying for porn and paying for pussy, and I get that, but I don't understand why porn is bad. And whenever he said guilty and shameful for watching porn, I don't ever feel guilty or shameful for it. The only thing I kind of feel is that you do hide when you do it because it's inappropriate for someone to just see. I don't know. I got a girlfriend and porn has dwindled down a lot because of it, but I don't care if she walked in. Like I'm not shameful about her seeing it or knowing that I do. I don't really care. I still don't see on how it could be a bad thing for you. He's saying that it's making you used to getting dopamine for feeling shame, but there's no dopamine hit from masturbating like how it would be from working out, self-accomplishment, success, pussy, love. Like the level of dopamine just don't match. Well, I'll let him finish his point though.
Negative things, number one. Number two, guilt and shame are very low on the frequency chart. So you just feel like a low vibrating human and you attract low, bad, negative stuff into your life. And number three, and this has recently been found in the last 12 to 14 months, there's something called porn-induced erectile dysfunction. Porn-induced erectile dysfunction. So there used to be a time that people were starting to get impotent or would have erectile dysfunction in their 40s and 50s and 60s as they get older, right?
Right.
Now, young kids, teens, kids in their 20s and their 30s are unable to get an erection and have sex because they're so used to watching a porn scene that is so exaggerated, so over the top, that has released so much intense dopamines when you're watching a threesome, foursome, gangbangs, whatever the fuck it is that you weirdos are into, And I don't judge you. I've been down that path, but I stopped. But when you're into that shit and then you come home to your beautiful spouse and you just have to make love to her, you're like, well, I don't know, man. Like, it's not 8 of you on top of each other with weird tools
I never had that problem. I can see maybe less attractive people who
and gadgets and a
Fuck,
swing
this
and a
fucking bitch ass headset keeps playing shit. But I could see less attractive people having this problem because the person that they're having sex with isn't as attractive as the people that they watch on porn. Maybe that is what he's meaning, because I don't know. I've never had that problem. I've never like I said, fucking is more of a dopamine rush for me than porn or watching a gangbang or anything like that. Maybe I'm just not old enough. I'm only 25, but dog, I ain't never had a fucking problem. The only time I've ever had a problem is if I drink too much alcohol. Porn has never made me less. If anything, porn has made me more grateful for actual sex. There's no other feeling as amazing as actual pussy. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just different. Maybe he is speaking to people that need to hear it. I don't know. I really want to know why people are so against porn, free porn.
and a ball gag from Pulp Fiction, right? Shout out to Quentin Tarantino and Pulp Fiction. You know what I'm talking about, Maine. By the way, Ed's not here today. Maine's got the cameras. And so, fuck, bro, how are you going to be able to make sweet love to your wife if you can't get hard because you've got porn-induced impotence?
Yeah.
That's sad. So that is why pornography is absolutely bad for you.
Well, what about the people that, because I know there's going to be comments, people like, oh, well, he's one of those guys that's just anti whatever. What about the people that ask, okay, what if I just do it every once in a while? Like, I'm not addicted. I could stop whenever I want. What do you say to those people?
Hey, guess what? If you're not addicted and you're not getting any of the negative side effects, this is a free country. Go for it. I'm not your daddy.
Okay, so yeah, what I was saying.
I will give you fatherly advice on the show, but I'm not your daddy. I'm not your God. I'm not anyone other than some guy on YouTube and under with a podcast who lives an awesome life, who is congruent with his core values, who has been down all the weird paths of all the different vices that these guys have gone down. And I'm telling you right now, they have designed pornography where even a little bit becomes a lot. Because then you want the next, you want the next, you want the next. And you realize that, holy crap, I'm addicted. It's just like a vape pen. It's like, oh, I only take a hit here and I take a hit there. And then you see the dudes on a plane who are fiending for a hit from a vape pen because they've been on a 3-hour flight and they can't wait to just run out of that terminal and take a hit of their vape pen.
Right.
I don't ever want anything to enslave my mind and heart that way. Not pornography, not nicotine, not alcohol, not food, not television, not any addiction.
These are all the people he's talking to are just sex addicts, right? You don't really hear that term anymore. I feel like sex is so prominent now that everyone just feels like to have sex all the time is normal. But whenever I was growing up, I remember there was movies and shit about how sex addicts had to go to class and they couldn't control it. Maybe it was just one movie, but there was one movie that I remember in my mind that was about this ex addict that was going to class to try to beat his sex addiction, which is kind of a weird class to have because everyone there wants the same thing. But I get why porn could be bad, just like how gambling could be bad, or alcohol could be bad, or nicotine could be bad, but they're only bad if they take control of your life. He kind of spoke a little bit about how he was mainly talking to people who are addicted, but at the same time he's still trying to make it seem like porn's bad for everybody, which I just don't see, man.
Out there, not gambling will create such an addictive component to it. None of it. Not even money. Like, money is very intoxicating as well, right? But money is something we need, and you can learn to be good and generous with money. But you can also start getting so addicted to it that you can start doing illegal things that are outside of your core values and character and justify it by, well, I'm just making money and doing good with it until you end up in jail. Plenty of great, nice, good people are in jail because they made bad decisions and it was the addictive factor.
Right.
So if people are like, hey, man, look, porn doesn't affect me. I just do it occasionally just to let off some steam. Listen, I got no beef with you, but I'm just letting you know that those companies that produce porn have designed it to take you down the rabbit hole and hold you there for as long as they could.
Same with
I
YouTube
also
though.
heard a
Like,
quote too. I'm gonna butcher it, but it basically was, if someone's asking, can I just do it in moderation, whatever the addiction is, whatever the thing is, if you have to do it in moderation, you're still a slave to it because you can't even stop.
Bro,
You still have to do it a little bit. So anyways.
I just don't. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that or not. I get what he's saying, but at the same time, like that'd be like saying like people are addicted to hobbies and they need to stop doing that. They can't do it in moderation because it's taking control of your life. Like if it truly makes you happy and it truly doesn't mess up anything else in your life, it doesn't affect anybody else that's in your life, then I don't see why it should matter. Obviously, you can take advantage of addictions. I don't need this shit no more. It's pissing me off. Obviously, you can have an addiction, take advantage of it, and ruin your life. But I feel like maybe I'm wrong on this, and if I am, let me know down below. But I feel like being able to control your addiction is way more than just quitting it. Like with me, I was an alcoholic before I started my YouTube channel. Really bad alcoholic. Drank every day, if not every other day. I went from not drinking at all during high school to whenever I turned 18 to started drinking beer. Then I started drinking hard whiskey, then rum, then vodka, and then tequila. I was really addicted to this shit. But I knew that I needed to control it because I didn't want to get further down in my life where I ended up going through some midlife crisis. I end up losing someone that I love. I lose my job. I didn't want to go through a terrible instance in my life to where I have nothing and I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll kick the bucket and I'll go back to what I was doing, drinking alcohol. Because then I wouldn't have control over the alcohol. I would just be back to being an alcoholic again. Once an alcoholic quits alcohol, you can be fine not drinking. But once you take that sip again, you're just starting right back where you was. You are just as addicted as you was when you first quit. So whenever I was quitting alcohol, I made sure that I quit it by giving myself time frames and making myself only drink on these certain days and this and that. But first it was like 3 days, then it was like 5 days, then it was like a week, and now it's like 2 weeks. And I can control myself. I don't need to drink anymore. I don't need to drink to go to sleep. I don't need to drink to have fun. I don't need to drink to live my life. And I feel like that is what people need to do. Mind over matter. You need to learn how to control your mind. You can control your mind. You can tell your mind exactly how to think and exactly how to feel if you try hard enough. I am a firm believer on mind over matter. This thing up here is the most powerful thing in the world. Honestly, this world wouldn't exist without fucking brains. Maybe my addiction wasn't as severe as some people who literally just can't, but I don't know, man. I've always been a firm believer in mental strength. So I just feel like people use excuses too much, especially in today's time whenever everyone is encouraging people to be victims, encouraging people to have unhealthy life choices, encouraging people to be happy with no matter how shitty their life is. That is such a shitty outlook. If you know what you're doing is making you shitty, then you need to change it. And I just don't see how porn could be a problem. Maybe I'm coping, maybe I'm trying to make excuses, so I don't see anything wrong with what I'm doing. And if I am, let me know down below. Like I said, I'm all ears. I really truthfully am curious on why the red pill movement is so dead set on porn is bad, unless it's just because they're being safe and they're trying to make it as broad as possible so they don't give people excuses to be like, well, I'm not addicted to porn, so I can go ahead and watch porn if I want. I fit in this criteria, even though they're addicted to porn. That's the only way I could see why they would do that. But yeah, I'm gonna end that video here, y'all. Please like the video. If you got anything to say about the video, let me know down below. You know, I'll read every single comment. Like I said, if you got any answers to the questions or any extra thinking points that I didn't think about, let me know down below. And if you fuck with your boy, will you please give me a subscription? With that being said, deuces.
Just run it up, we gon' run it up, nigga. Run it up, blue bands got my hundreds up. White girl, snow bunnies up, said she don't know you ain't one of us. I always kick it with her, you ain't fucking nothing. Why your pants sad, you ain't clutching nothing? Fuck, nigga. You think you tough or something? Come run you something, nigga. I've been out of my mind.